Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to put up a video today because unfortunately I'm having some technical difficulties on my PC. So as some of you know, I just recently moved from Vietnam back to the United States, and I couldn't bring my case to the PC that I built in Vietnam back to the United States because it was just too big. So I bought me a new case. I got the thing put back together again, and it's running great, but for some goofy reason, King of Fighter All-Star PC client will not play on this thing. Every other game that I have, every other PC client that I use does work except for King of Fighter All-Star. So it kind of sucks. So what you guys are actually watching right now is actually an emulator playing the game, which is LD Player 9. And no, it's not the greatest emulator. It does lag a little bit, but I will be showing you guys some gameplay whenever I do reviews for characters until I can figure out why this problem is occurring from my laptop, which I actually can play the PC client on. So it's a little bit of a weird situation, but for you guys, it still will be much different because I'll still be using the PC client version of the game in order to show some gameplay. So that way we don't have any kind of lag, but you might see some lag on what you're watching right now because this is actually an emulator. So today we're going to be talking about good old Magaki, a character that I made a video about a long time ago that I was really hoping would show up in the game. And I gotta say, guys, he doesn't disappoint. What an amazing character. He looks freaking awesome. Like, look at this dude. He looks sick. And this is a character that we all have been getting through, you know, what I call the Magaki event. And someone threw out a really nice idea in the last video that I made regarding the carnival, and that was, boy, it would have been really nice in this carnival if they would have put in some of those coins for Magaki. I think that would have been insanely good, especially if they would have put in that on top of maybe some of these shards. I think that would have been phenomenal if they would have done that. So this is something that maybe Netmarble should think about definitely in the future is, you know, whenever they have those carnivals, maybe with these new UE characters, because they're not going to give us UE memories, especially at this point. They're not going to queue up those UE generic memories. Go ahead and throw out some coins for a character that's maybe in a banner where we're using those coins for. So I thought that was a really good idea, and I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. So let's talk about good old Magaki. He is a blue balanced type fighter, increased fusion fighter attack by 70%. And when you look at his stat details, guys, you can look at his critical rate, his critical damage. It's not near as high as the other characters. Granted, though, he is A3. Do keep that in mind, guys. When they're leveled up, they're going to have a lot higher stats. But still, this is definitely a lot lower than, say, someone like Maki, who would have, you know, 350, 400% critical damage, just insanity, right? So he doesn't have quite the stats that they do have. And then when you look at his core effect, he does have increased attack by 500%, 30% PG rate, blast skill increase, which is really good for him, critical rate by 30%, increased blast skill damage by 20% for 5 seconds when using active skill 3, increases critical damage of active skill 1 by 20% for 3 seconds when using active skill 2. So, you know, you really want to go 3, 2, 1 to get the maximum buffs. And his 1's really where the damage is going to be at, as you guys will see in the gameplay. If the amount of HP lost is greater than 20%, 40%, 60%, or 80% of max HP, critical rate increases by 5% respectively. And then he's immune to stun, fear, burn, and poison, and decreased damage received by 80% when HP is 65% or below. It's a shame this isn't higher, like say some of the other characters where it's like up to 85%, but still, it's pretty decent, right? He does have a damage immunity core as well. And when you look at his UE skill, you know, this just resets his active skills. It really doesn't do anything other than that. And then his Phantom UE skill actually resets active skill cooldowns upon use, consumes 20% of max HP to increase active skill 1 damage by 30% for 10 seconds upon use. Active skill 1 can be used up to 3 times. So it's kind of like a mini concentrate where you can use that one skill 3 times right in a row. And all you gotta do is just hold the skill down in order to acquire this. And then HP does not drop below 1 when consumed by this skill. But the hyper armor will be removed and the damage immunity effect from another level will be in a cooldown state. So it kind of decreases survivability, but he's going to gain a lot of damage. And you guys will see, like, his survivability is still pretty good, but that definitely does hurt it. His skill 1 is a blast skill, deals physical damage equal to 5,000% of attack, resets active skill 1 cooldown upon use, and this is on a 15-second cooldown. And then his second skill is a blast skill as well, deals 5,000% attack, physical damage attack, and then it resets active skill 2 skill cooldown upon use. And this also has a 15-second cooldown, so the 1 and 2 pretty much work the same. His third skill is a grab. This deals poison damage equal to 1000% of attack to the target every 1 second for 5 seconds. I wish this was actually 10 seconds instead of 5 seconds, but still it's all good. And then he also decreases defense by 8%, increases their damage speed by 100%. So he's kind of like a good mini support for other characters. And he is free. And he also gains hyper armor for 5 seconds whenever you use this. And whenever you use his default, he actually does get a heal, right? He will get a 10% heal. So even though he loses some of his HP when he uses his Phantom UE skill, he'll still have a heal when he does his default, but it is on a 60% cooldown. But because he has 65% decreased damage received from his core, he actually has pretty decent survivability. I wouldn't say it's as good as, say, other characters, definitely not like Mukai, but it's still pretty decent, especially compared to other characters in the game, because he is a UE character. He still has really, really high stats and so on. And when we take a look at his Imprint Stones, we're just using the 3 regular stones, and then I just got this 1 stone that can increase his poison damage and attack. I didn't have another stone that I could actually equip on him. This here is actually for attack, so that was kind of a bummer, and then all these were pretty much being used, and I wanted to give him something with poison in all honesty, so I kind of skipped out on it, and he doesn't have any plugins on him whatsoever. This really would make a big difference for the character if I would do it, but because I recorded some gameplay of him on the PC client on my other computer, we're just going to go ahead and run with them without the plugins. But if you did have those plugins, do keep that in mind when you're watching the run you're about to watch, because he would do a lot more damage. If you're buffing up that skill 1, that skill 2, that's really his bread and butter, especially that skill 1 after you use the Phantom UE skill. And when you look at his core, guys, I haven't leveled up anything on his core whatsoever, but you really want to go for attack, penetration. Obviously, if you're trying to use him in the Ages Challenge, overpower momentum, and you want to max out the first and the second skill, and then the third skill last. Max out these first 2, and then the third skill last, and then obviously you want to level up Ultimate Break and Phantom UE skill. And unfortunately, you got to have your character to awaken level 50 in order to get the Phantom UE skill. And then you have the Striker bonus here, where, you know, he just does phantom damage, and he will deal poison damage for 10 seconds, which can be useful against Guild Raid Rugal. And as far as his cards, you know, we're just going to run the regular set, then we're just going to run these 2 option cards on him, and his 3PG does increase blast skill by 10%, so that's pretty nice. He's got a nice little buff in his kit. So let me bring up the run for you guys so you can watch exactly what we're doing here. So I'm just going to be using Magaki's leadership to 70% increase attack to fusion fighters. And we're going to have a full team of UE characters on the team. That way we get some bonuses as far as our damage is concerned. And you're just going to find with Magaki that he's just super, super fun. He has really, really cool skills. I mean, they're really like kind of off keel, right? Really wacky to watch, but that's really the way he's meant to be. He's just a really silly character to play. And I'm just trying to build up as much as the Phantom State as I can. There we go. And you will get that reset on the first and the second skill every other 15 seconds. And yeah, you'll just find that he's really, really fun. He's going to be a really great character for you guys to get it done, especially against Guild Raid Rugal. I know that isn't a big bar to really go by, but he is a strong character. I definitely plan on testing him in other game modes, but since he's just A3, it's pretty tough in all honesty to test him. I mean, I guess I could bring him into the plug-in plan because the characters do need to be A3. And there you can see that 1 skill getting reset. And that thing does a lot of damn damage, guys. I mean, remember, this is without a plugin. I am using Magaki as a striker because she does increase blast skills. And for Magaki, that is actually really, really good because his first and second skill are main damage dealing skills, and they are blast skills. So she really does add a lot of help. And he just does a lot of hits, which allows him to break the meter. I mean, if you were using like a bleed striker, you would actually be able to break this meter even faster, but there really is no need, at least in my humble opinion. You probably would do better with just using Maki as a striker because of her increase to blast skills. It's just OP as hell for a character like this, and I really feel like it's probably the best way to go. But if you are using a bleeding striker like in Hydern or AG, you would be able to break the meter a whole lot faster. Maybe that would make up the difference as far as doing more damage over time. But I just think he's fun. I just think he's a really cool character to have a good time with. Like, I think Magaki is awesome. Like, I was just laughing so much when I first started playing with him. The way he just kind of like, I mean, just like in the old KOF game, guys, he just sits there and he shakes and everything whenever he's just staying there stationary and he's not moving around. It's freaking sick. Like, I just love the aesthetics of the character and how he plays, the way he teleports around. And honestly, guys, the voice is wonderful. Yeah, I mean, he just sounds like he's just losing his crap, right? Which is pretty much what is happening. Oh, yeah, but we want to build up. We want to build up. Here we go. There we go. There we go. I mean, God, he's over 400 billion, you know, so I don't think he's the strongest character, but I could be wrong, right? It's really hard for me to tell because all I've really tested is just A5 characters so far, but I am tempted to try to get this guy to A5, and just so you all know, I didn't pay one dime to get this character to A3, not one dime. I've been doing it the free-to-play way, and I've just gotten super lucky with memories for him, which is freaking awesome. And I've actually seen quite a few other players have the same kind of luck. They've been doing really well, which is phenomenal, man. That's really awesome to see people getting a free character. I mean, he's OP. I wish I had him at A5 though, and maybe I will be able to test him at A5 later on. I'm just kind of playing my cards out, seeing how lucky I'm going to get in his event before I, might spend any money on him, because I really want to try to, I'm really trying to hold back on my spending, especially considering the situation I'm in now. After just moving back to America, I went ahead and used his skill, absorbed all those bars, because we're pretty much at the end of the fight. So we got 622 billion damage, guys. 622. That is no joke. That is a very good score for an A3 character. That's actually pretty damn godly that he was able to do that. So I'm pretty happy with Magaki. I don't think he's the strongest character by no means, but I do think he is pretty damn OP. And if you guys would like to see some more Magaki gameplay in the future, let me know down in the comments below. So guys, let me know what you think about Magaki. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.